Hello guys, Gladiator Bricks here with a talk. Today I'm going to talk about games you can make up with Lego. Now, you can war game with Lego very easily. Now how you do this is you get yourself a board, a table. Then you put a type of tarp with, if you can easily get these tarps in little zoo sets and army men sets very easily. Some sets have like this little tarp you can get that has pictures on it. That would be your game board. And of course, how you make your armies. You pretty much, your army needs several different sides. Now we're going to do it in pirate form, so you need the artillery, which would be the cannon or whatever, or tank or whatever you go for. Musketeers or sharpshooters, which can have only 2 minifigures on the piece, and you could probably make tons of these pieces if you have tons of minifigures. Now I'm using pirates right now because I'm trying to avoid using any of my homemade characters. Of course, normal army, which can have both pistols and swords, which kind of gives it a nice look. As you see, it's a mix of different minifigures. You could probably use any kind of mix. These are actually pawns, so this would be your pawn army. So you put them on the front lines and put them out by the thousands and such. And of course, Berserker. Now the Berserker, you would give him points. You see, he could take on 6 or 7 pawn areas and maybe even take down the artillery. Now I call him Berserker because he has 2 swords, and I thought it'd be cool to put Berserkers into wargaming because Berserkers are pretty cool characters. Then there's your captain piece. You lose this guy in battle, your whole army falls. Now the whole entire army's fact, you have to have 2 players to play or 3 players. Actually, if you wanted to, you could have like several different armies fighting against each other. So you could all be teaming up against one another, but you're not teaming up with your friends. But you can make up like alliances with your friends in the battles. So it'd be like, all you'd have to do is make like a flag or a piece of paper or something. You have paper during the thing and you write down a treaty, and then you could have your friend sign it, and that means he's part of your army, and it's also written proof he won't attack your army in the game. Now this is of course a wargaming, so it's something you can make very easily. But the pieces I'd recommend for the Berserker would be the same size as the captain's piece. But for the artillery piece, I would recommend, if it doesn't have wheels and it's not a tank, then give it a piece like this to sit on. And if you can sneak in a minifigure, go ahead. Now for the soldiers, for the normal pawn soldier piece, I would recommend a wing piece because that's very easy to get and it's a lot more room and you can use several of them. And for the for musketeer pieces, you could probably have tons of them. And I'd recommend the same piece as the Berserker I have right here, because then you can add 2 figurines to the same piece. Now if you lose your artillery or your captain, if you lose your artillery, you can still probably win the round if you can take out, you just can't take out the other army's artillery piece. You can take out their captain, or you can take out their captain, but you can't put a Berserker up against an artillery piece, because that's not talking smart. Now if you make like a grenadier or a bomber, if you add that to your army, you might have a chance. But if you're setting up defenses already, now also you can also build your own defenses if you wanted to, like build a small base really quick. So you could go like this and start adding pieces to a small base and then put it down, and that's your laying area, and you have to stay in that area no matter what. You can't move your army from that area. If you do, then your area gets captured and your friend automatically wins the match if you build a fortress in that area and your friend takes over that area, you lose. Now this is a board game I made up for fun, so a lot of you are probably wondering, how fun is wargaming? Well, when you're doing it with friends, it's a lot of fun. If you're doing it alone, it's kind of boring. But it helps to practice if you go up against a friend who's actually done it longer than you have. Now for pawns, if you're doing it with Star Wars minifigures, for pawns I'd recommend the battle droids, because they're characters you don't too much care if they get taken down. If you use stormtroopers, they would make perfect pawns too. But there's several different armies, but for now I'm using pirates for this design. Because I wanted to show the classic pirates as an idea. Of course, this is all the classic pirates I have, except for the torsos. I do have a bunch more pirate torsos, but that's it. Well, like always, comment and subscribe, share this video, and let me know in the comments what you think. Until then, happy building.